Lost Art of Fishing Stories, written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Preserving history, one veteran story at a time. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast that's given a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art Project, Veteran Voices with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project, Veterans Voices. We are here today to do a fireside chat with the crew. But before we get into the episode, I hope you've been enjoying the podcast. And if you have, then make sure you go to the website. And you guys are all with me. That's pretty funny. I forgot to switch it. It's okay. Y'all can hang out. Go to thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. There's a couple ways you can help support us. You can always go there. You can click on that one-time donation, or you can become a patron. That's a monthly donation. Heck, you could just go purchase some cool merchandise. I got some merchandise right here. Anyways, it's the new stuff. And or you can advertise right here on the podcast. Any of those options will work. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Let me go back. I'm way out of it right now. I apologize to everybody. Till Valhalla Project, man, you need to go check them out. That's a great place. And why are you guys laughing at me? But Till Valhalla Project, be sure you go check them out. If you haven't been there, go there. If you have been there, go back. Great organization, absolutely wonderful. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member. We're back and we're going to go around the country. Sorry, I screwed up the beginning. I apologize. I was not on my game and I wasn't really ready. I was doing a quick transition from one podcast to another and it threw me off. And then somebody was talking crazy earlier and threw my mind for a loop. So I apologize. Let's go around the country, you know. Let's start with Mike. Mike, you're the first one on here. So yeah, how you doing there, Mike?
I'm doing good, Andrew.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. I'm doing good.
All right. Okay. Bone, how are you doing?
We're doing great in the PNW. I don't know if you guys have heard the Mariners somehow inexplicably, some witch bought a spell on the internet and they don't suck anymore. We've stopped selling our good players to Japan, or I don't know what was wrong for 2 decades, but we're in the ALCS and I don't watch any of it because I'm not a baseball fan, but between that and the Hawks winning today and exposing the Jags, we're having a nice time in the PNW. So there it is. It's good.
Nice. I like it. I like it when teams win, even if there's a spell involved. So,
yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
One's not a sports fan, but magically he is. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Sensei, although he doesn't put Sensei up there anymore. Vic, how you doing?
Life is good. I've finally got the benches that I was working on completely done. All I need to do now is wait for the rain to stop so I can take them outside and spray them down with stain and polyurethane, and they're done, which is awesome. So I feel incredibly accomplished in the wood shop. And then as soon as I get them out, hopefully the rain's supposed to break tomorrow so I can get everything sprayed down. One coat of spray takes about an hour to dry. So if everything goes well, I can get 3 coats on by the end of the day. So we'll see. Today's cigar is a Tatuaje Mummy. So this is what they call their monster cigar. So every year, Tatuaje releases a monster cigar. They release about 5,000 boxes, and when they're gone, and then they don't make any more until the next year. This year is the Mummy. This one is it's kind of a large cigar. It's 7.5 inches by 47, I believe, ring gauge. It is all Nicaraguan, so it is like cocoa and molasses. Yes, it's at least, if it's,
14
6 inches. It's at least 6 inches.
But
But it's like cocoa and espresso and molasses and that kind of stuff. But I've smoked one of these earlier in the week, and it's a wonderful cigar. So if you see these out in your cigar shop, I highly recommend, and then keep your eye out for them because every year they're different. 2 years ago they had, I think it was a vampire, and it was amazing. Every year so far since I got turned on to them, I haven't found one that I don't like yet. So
this particular cigar, the Monster, I'm assuming only comes out during like October for Halloween.
Yes, this is my tribute to our 2 birthday boys this month. So it comes out around the middle of October, and then they distribute 5,000 boxes, and that's it. When they're gone, they're gone. Depending on what they have on hand every year, with like leftover, leftover inventory from the previous years, they put together a monster mash. So they'll put together an assortment box of previous cigars. But they're the monster mashes that get expensive every year because they're, once they release it, sometimes they don't re-release them for many years. So they're kind of hard to come by. But this year is the Mummy, and it's awesome.
That's good. I'm laughing at a comment on the TikTok. He said those white.
I can't see it. Is he asking if they commingle with like Strawberry Mummy and Count Chocula, like Vanilla Ghost?
They're all looking at all this.
I would just assume that would be the flavor profile, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They're looking at all this here, and they said that the white pants are very nice. Oh man, I don't know. It's just weird. TikTok. The TikTok
that has to do with the cigar.
No, not with a cigar. I'm just laughing at a TikToker.
I got you.
I thought it was funny. Apparently it wasn't. It's all good.
I forgot to tell you. It also has a fold-over foot.
Ooh.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. When you were showing it earlier, I was like, man, that's got a fold-over foot.
Man, you are absolutely right.
Yep, that's got a fold-over foot.
For those of you who may or may not remember, fold-over foots are very nice because all the flavor is in the wrapper. And when you light the fold-over foot, you're basically drawing all that flavor into the cigar.
Yeah, that's what she said.
She always likes
that. See, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Is 7.5 inches like a guy's measurement, or is 7.5 inches? You know what I'm saying? It's
Nicaraguan too. Is that metric?
I would say that it's fully 7.5 inches. Yes, as scientific comparison.
Yards.
Just start making up a apothecary number. It weighs 59 grams.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, that's actually a funny joke there, Vic. Man, and the business and the clientele I deal with are produce farmers. So when they're grading like peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, let's say, you never see guys actually grading them as they're coming through the line. And I asked that question several years ago. I was like, why do you only have women? They're like, yeah, they're the only one that can actually judge size.
Oh, they didn't say that.
And at first I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, he said, what a guy calls a grande, they call 6 inches. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. All right, I got you. So, majority of the women that grade the produce coming through, majority of them are women. They're not guys because they can't judge for shit.
No, we can't.
True. True. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh my goodness. So, what's on the agenda today? I can't even remember. Nor
some
can I get to
VA,
it.
yeah, some VA stuff in the news that you had brought up, kind of referenced Doge and just some changes coming or have come with the VA or suggested.
Yeah. What about the let's see, that was the second one with Doge, right?
Yeah, but no, I think it was the first one. And I think the recommendation was to cut 80,000 positions. And then it got kind of dwindled down to 30,000 that they're still, I don't know that they've been cut, but that they're pushing as, certain things that they want to slash out of the VA. And it's interesting. You have to read the whole article. The, kind of like most things, I don't think it was a sensational headline, but that doesn't explain the totality of it. But when you get, when you do drill down, you're like, it's not all good just because it's Trump Dog's autistic Muppet is the one trying to pull the trigger on it or whoever cooked it up. So it's like, there's a little, you have to apply critical thinking to the story and to what the VA is and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's some interesting take on some of that stuff there. What did you say? Trump's what?
Trump Dog's Muppet? Autistic Muppet. That would be Elon Musk for those of you who aren't picking up what I'm putting down. That's, I mean,
in case you
what
weren't,
it is.
In case we weren't, direct enough with it.
He knows. He's in on it too. He's like, he gets it. He's doing fine. No, I mean, I think a lot of that stuff, and this is a good leaping off point, is when we've all been in the military and we've all worked with civilian contractors or been exposed to them or have had to deal with our own state and local governments, right, in some capacity. And I can tell you definitively, and this is why I said it's kind of, you have to like read the whole thing and really try and look at it critically. There are some people working in those positions in government jobs or in like contractor things that should not be there, that honestly should be fired for cause. But it's an almost impossibility to make that happen, right? And so it takes like an act of God to get them out of there, right? They finally, like that old bird that won't answer an email or return a phone call. I don't know, let's just say from like Washington State LNI, who handles explosive breaching licenses. Like she either has to get married or run afoul of me, and I have to start doing my darndest to put an end to that, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? Or it's just, it takes like, okay, I've come up in the world. I've won the lottery. Now I don't have to work in this government position and ruin everyone's day and life. So there's some of that. I mean, some of those 30,000 positions, I guarantee you there are those people in there. The other side, and what the article really was more alluding to, is contract positions that are kind of imperative to have, right? Like we need people. I mean, healthcare can be a 24-hour job. So sometimes we need doctors on the other side of the planet that are up and can, read these, CAT scans, CTs, X-rays, things like that. Right. And so there's things like that, and that should definitely not be cut. And I don't know enough about how they got to these 80,000, 30,000. I can just see it. I can just see both sides, and I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, no. So, I mean,
well, it's hard to find the happy medium, or the happy medium is not the part that gets reported on or talked about, right? There's always the far sides that get talked about. That happy medium doesn't necessarily, because there's lots of contractors out there doing great things.
Absolutely.
It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. But not that you're bitter about anything, because
No, I know. I'm just bringing it up. I mean, everyone's experienced it. That we all know we have. We know somebody who knows that they've gotten into that position and that it's like they're protected from on high by the Prince of Darkness and they can't be gotten out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, and because it's hard, right? And because, I mean, they're not doing anything illegal. They're not doing anything morally bankrupt. They're just horrifically lazy and do like everything within their power to do the least amount of anything. And look, I'm all about malicious compliance. It's still compliance. I get it. I don't like, some people choose to be petty, do this and that. That's different than like just abject laziness.
Yeah.
And, you know, almost intentionally choosing to be borderline incompetent to just do it. Like, and it sucks. I trust me. And I'm actually a really Pollyanna kind of nice guy. I've just lived too long and run afoul of too many of these people. So now when I see it, it's like, I see it and then I know it exists. And especially with the government, like that's that.
What are you talking about now,
place.
Bone? I mean, what are you specifically talking about?
I'm talking about people working in government positions that are.
Oh yeah, well,
don't
that's
do
what I
their
thought you were
job.
talking about. I wanted to make sure I didn't interject on something that.
Nope.
No, I saw that here, and I'll be flat out here in Albany. Well, I don't live in Albany. I live in Leesburg, but Marine Corps Logistics Base, Albany, Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, it was. You know, I always said it should be Albany Logistics Base with Marine Corps support. And it was nothing but a bunch of freaking GS positions.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing that I was used to. I mean, even though I was at this base before, when the 1st Marine Division came back, and all of a sudden I literally tried to touch base with, you know, my job was unit, fiscal matters.
That's true.
Everything. And I reached out to this person who was our comptroller, and I was like, hey, you know, just touching base with you, you know, as far as fiscal matters, blah, 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 this and that. And I actually walked into the head shed, it's building 3500, and I went and knocked on the hatch, you know, and it wasn't an actual military, it was a military building, but she was not Marine Corps. And I walked in and she goes, did I tell you to come here? I was like, no, ma'am.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, well, I was just here to touch base with you. You know, you know, that's what I'm used to. Hey, you know, face to face. You have a tendency to get more with somebody when you have a tendency to be a face to face and you actually talk and communicate.
Yeah.
And sit down. And I was like, hey, man, I've got paperwork. I can send it to you. I got email. I got all this stuff. She goes, you ever walk in my office again without me asking you, it'll be the last time. And I'm like, okay. You know, as I'm walking out, excuse my language, but it's like, okay, bitch. I mean, literally, she was sitting there in a freaking GS-13 position, been sitting there for 20 years, just freaking putzing along, getting a paycheck. But she has this ability to, you know, pick and choose. No, you can't buy toilet paper this year. And that's literally what I walked in there for. It was like pens, papers, toilet paper. And that's what things people don't realize in the military. You still have to budget to get toilet paper, paper towels, pens, tablets, you know, printer cartridges, you know, crap like that. And then whatever you need for the unit.
Yeah.
You know, and Marine Corps Logistics Base, Albany, Georgia wasn't an infantry unit. So it wasn't a division unit. It's like, okay, well, this is what we need. This is what I see we need. Well, she's like, you ever walk in here again like this, it'll be the last time.
I'd have told her that you're right. This is the last time I'm walking in your office.
Well, I kind of did. I kind of did say that, and you know, it was actually the last time we actually ever talked. But you know, it was like, seriously, you were that pompous in your position to think that What?
I mean, it's true. There are those that are out there like that for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's this base in Albany, and Marine Corps Logistics Base, and I'll shout it out. That's where the senior staff NCOs that like to hide came to hide, so they didn't have to deploy, and they could retire and get jobs and everything else. But it's just the base is flooded with that crap, and it's like, what are you talking about? You're here for me, I'm not here for you. And she's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, service providers that you should, and for every one of them, there's 10 at least that are
do good.
awesome, like right on.
Oh, absolutely,
It's that perspective
absolutely.
of like, this isn't a position where you get to build an ivory tower and then sit in it and poo-poo what the little people need and dole out or not dole out ass wipe, because like that's that you're that all-powerful position. It's just, but that again, it exists everywhere, and that exists in the VA. There are people, and they find a thing, and I can gatekeep something. Well, if you can gatekeep something, then that is at least one little part of power, right, or control. And I think people with like a heart for serving others and for just working for the government, you don't make generally as much as you do in like the private sector doing the exact same thing, but that somehow what Mike and I have been describing still finds its way in, and again, like poisons the well, bad for morale, right? Bad, just all the way around. So I don't know that. I don't think you can, as Doge or as even just the federal government, you can't just come out and be like, there's some fat what need to be trimmed, and you just can't say it like that, right? And you also can't just fire them. So, but I don't know, man. Again, like I said, strong leadership can kind of make some guidelines and some changes. Sometimes it's just temporary. Sometimes it's the 2 years that the commander's there, and then it goes kind of back to status quo. But, or it takes that again. It takes that like act of God or the universe stepping in, and something happens, right? Like, literally, life changes outside of our control, or that, So I just look at that, and that's exactly kind of where I went and what I went to, and just thought like,
real quick, Chris says, and now some of those government employees took retirement and signed on as contractors 90 days later. And then there's this infantry officer 3 years in, and he says, do you have any advice for him? Infantry officer 3 years in, any advice? What do you guys think?
Keep your head down.
Keep your head down. Good advice. Listen to your senior enlisted. Listen to your senior enlisted.
Yeah, after the major.
I didn't ignore you, Raul. Raul said I was handsome. Raul said, happy Sunday, sweet, handsome man. I didn't ignore you. I just didn't want them to. That wasn't the. Anyways.
Like Caldera?
I don't know if that's Raul Caldera. Is it Raul Caldera, or is this somebody else?
It's gotta be.
I can't see the picture. It's too.
So first of all, to Bone, they have a word for those type of people, and they're called petty tyrants. And they were like rampant all over the place during COVID. And then second of all, there is a time and a place to get rid of them, and it's during the government shutdown. Oh, look at that. So if somebody wants to clean house, now's the time to do it. And just to kind of clear up things, Doge didn't fire anybody. Doge didn't get rid of anybody. Doge just recommended to get rid of these, and then the politicians started tearing it apart or not, or anything like that. So I mean, I don't know what it's going to actually shake down to, if they're actually going to get rid of 30,000 people. I do believe that they need to get rid of some. They need to get rid of the people that are just there collecting a paycheck. They need to get rid of the people that were, supposed to be working in buildings that were only 7% or 8% occupied, and they're just sitting at home being their gatekeepers and their petty tyrants in their underwear, Get rid of those people. Get rid of those people.
Preach, Vic, preach. Well, and hey, let's not forget that. Remember at the Advent, when all this Doge news was coming out, and I mean, however you want to look at it, one headline was literally they found multiple, not just one instance, but a small percentage, but a percentage of like retired and or dead people drawing money, pensions, like giving
Social Security,
stuff like that. It's a small percentage, but there's got to be some of that involved in this too. And thank you for clarifying. I don't think I said Doge fired him, but that can get mixed up or lost in the verbiage. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It was a look at, a suggestion, and it's like definitely some of it needs to go. Like there's always dead weight, there's always the wheat, and there's always the chaff, right? And whatever other platitude or euphemism like you can apply, it's just nobody ever wants to apply it because, and again, I think the Secretary of War Hegseth said it best when he was praising the Marine Corps, is like the one and only service branch that actually held a standard, which is true. Preach. But like nobody does that in other government things or with other GS type positions, or nobody wants to do that. And it's not about, you shouldn't do it out of meanness. You shouldn't do it out of spitefulness or, things like that, right? It shouldn't be punitive, but like if we were just honest with people, and if we actually led them and used some discernment and gave them like real legitimate guide rails, I don't know, like parenting or just being a boss or some crap, like even if it's a huge corporation with HR, you set the tone, you set the expectations, you do these things, like you can adjust that dead weight or cut it free.
Are you honestly trying to tell everybody to just give a shit?
I would love if everybody could do that, please. Starting now.
Starting right now. And then
Andrew, I'll give you the credit because you said it out loud. It was your idea.
No, you sound like what was that movie that was out years ago? It was like my stapler.
Office Space.
Yes. No, but literally
they
came in and
my
started.
Job, it's just that I don't care.
They came in and they're like, "What do you do here?" Well, honestly, it's like, "What do you do here?"
The Bobs. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I have people skills, Mike. I have people skills.
Yeah.
I hand the
PC load letter.
The engineer.
What the heck does that mean?
I hand that to the engineer.
It's like all I did.
That movie is, you bring it up, it's so real, and it's just gotten so worse in every facet of every part of everything. Just like the movie Idiocracy. People there are things in Idiocracy that have come to fruition, right? Like it's wild. It's like don't make a movie about self-fulfilling prophecies.
The minimum.
I know. I don't know, man.
Even the company I work with, I work for, I'm not going to name it. I've named it in the past, so I'm not going to name it today. But, all of a sudden, they promote all these young college kids. They're engineers. And I end up having to go to the plant, do this, do that. And they're like, well, the engineer. And I'm like, the hell are you an engineer of? Well, I'm an engineer of, machine maintenance. I said, so what do you do?
What do you do around here?
Well, I, no offense, and it was a female. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I don't care what their pronouns were or anything like that. And I'll say she. She was like, well, I'm not like, I'm because I can't say it. I'm actually saying it the way she was saying it. She's like, machine maintenance proficiency.
So would you say that your job might be like an entry-level position for engineers? I mean, like, because
I was like, so you ever see maintenance? That's what I said. Yeah, I was like, you ever see maintenance? You dictate like maintenance schedules or maintenance or PMs and stuff like that. She goes, no.
Does she put the grease with the little knob and the thing on the thing?
No, she doesn't stick the
doesn't do
grease
that?
gun in the Zerk fitting or anything like that. No.
Oh, it's a Zerk fitting. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
like,
I don't.
I said, I'm not trying to be an ass, but what do you do? And she goes, well, to establish proficiency. Well, I'm looking at you guys right now. As I was like,
What does that mean?
I was like,
how's that going for you?
You
Okay.
need a senior NCO to just like have your mouth open and go like, what?
but that's the corporate philosophy. It's like, okay, well, let's make another position to make a position to make a position. Okay, well, we'll hire you as an engineer. You're an engineer over maintenance proficiency. You're an engineer over fire hazards. I don't know how else to say it, but I stood there and I was literally standing there in the plant. This was a couple of years ago, and I was like, I said, so what are you an engineer of? Do you have a degree? And she goes, yeah, absolutely. I said, in what?
Engineering.
Engineering proficiency. I'm like, what the fuck is that? When I was a kid, in high school, and I was like, man, what do I want to do? What I want to do? I'm going to be an engineer. I could be an electrical engineer. I can be a structural engineer. I can be a, whatever.
Civil engineer.
The dude on a train?
Yeah.
Train engineer. Yeah.
All of a sudden it was like, I'm an engineer of this. And I was like, and they get promoted. They're there for like 6 months to a year and they get to go on. It's just a step to another position. But to go on what Bone's saying is what positions are these? What's the requirement for this? Why do we have to have them when we haven't had them for years? You've had people doing these jobs for years. I mean, what's the purpose of all of a sudden you got to hire? And that was literally the plant manager at the time. I think it was plant manager. They keep changing the wording, but he said, well, you have to understand these kids, they can learn anything you guys can do.
Yeah, but
you can't do what they can do. His exact words, and it was like, okay.
Who taught him that? I mean, yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's also part of college or part of getting into that whatever program.
Yeah.
I mean, being an engineer and being able to do calculus does not an idiot make. So I don't think anybody here is saying anything like that or diminishing anyone's intelligence. But what we're saying is you went somewhere for a long time and spent a bunch of money to learn some fake words about engineering proficiency. Well, what is so? And again, I'm sure you apply some math, but guess what? I bet it's programmed into your Excel spreadsheet, and you tell Excel how fast the saw blade turns, what cuts the wheat, or whatever drops the cookie on the conveyor belt, and what? Okay, yeah, dude, you can teach me that. I'm an idiot like you, but I can physically put a number into an Excel sheet that's already been generated, and then I can go tell somebody to tighten the screw on the thing so the cookie moves faster, or whatever widget or whatever. Like, I mean,
no, you're not wrong, Bo.
Pick an engineering function.
Right. Yeah.
And we're old and salty, and we have experience and people skills. Like I said, we have people skills. I can hand a piece of paper to somebody and interact with them. So exactly what that dude said is so insulting, and also completely the inverse, because now you have a generation of people that can't talk or interact with someone.
Well, the big thing is, and that's actually my coworker actually said, and I listened to him. Well, it's been probably a couple of years ago now, with a young engineer was telling us was everything that was, why this, and this, and this, and that. And I was standing there and I was just getting pissed. I was like, "You cocksucker! I swear to God, man." You know, and he turned around and looked at him. And he goes, "You know the difference between you and us?" And this young kid, I say young kid, but he's probably 26, 27 years old. He goes, "What's that?" He goes, "We deal in reality." He said, "You deal with everything that's numbers, books, and everything else." He said, "You have no actual knowledge of how this works in the real world." He said, "We deal in reality." He said, "You don't." And the kid standing there looked at him. He goes, "Well, what am I supposed to say to that?" And it was like, okay, well, I mean, come out and deal in reality and see what we see. What we're telling
just
you
said it.
is, yeah, what we see is what we're telling you. You're obviously smarter than we are, so we're telling you this. Take our data and fix the problem. And he just couldn't do it. It was just, he was just awestruck that, how dare you question my data? It's like, okay, well, we're telling you your data's wrong. There's no denying actual application.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. It's the rubber meets
Yeah,
the
but-
road situation.
Data's like statistics. You can make it say whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be right or wrong. It's just the question that you ask information to get the answer that you want.
That's true. 70% of people know that. And I stole that from The Simpsons. That's a Simpsons joke, but it's, I mean, that's true, right? So you can use statistics to prove anything. But I actually talked to a guy who took like advanced statistics in college. So this is why you should go to church and meet new people that are interesting and know things you don't know. Is like this guy took these courses and understood these things. Exactly what Vic just said. There's no lie in the data, in the numbers. They're putting in the real numbers. They're running it through, but they're running it through multiple different statistical analyses, right? And then from there, you get to interpret it, right? Which is it's a little subjective, right? Not objective. And you also get to choose what you present to whom. So that's where it comes in. You can use that data for what, good or evil. You can use it to be a turd. You can use it. It's exactly that. And I was like, man, he's talking about statistics stuff, and he's like, I don't feel comfortable with this. I thought math was clean, not dirty. I'm like, you can pervert anything, man. Like numbers are, nothing's uncorruptible, and
Yeah, look at
including government employees of GSA. 0 through 13, full circle. We've come full circle, and I just crapped on math. Sorry to you statisticians out there.
God.
Got nothing, man. I don't know.
Wow. You know, what
So
did
how about
math
that
do to
DAV
you?
article?
So what was the other article? Hold on.
AI is going
I
to
got it
take the
here.
jobs of that dead weight. That was one of them.
Oh, the DAV responding to the shameful Washington Post article suggesting our nation's veterans are gaming the VA disability system. What do you guys think about that?
That's some bullshit. That's what I think that is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure every demographic has their 10%. Every demographic, whatever you're analyzing, whatever you're looking at, whatever issue you're arguing for or against, there's always that 10% that is doing what you're arguing against in any situation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there trying to game the system. I get it, but like by and large, the vast majority of veterans out there have earned the benefits that they are receiving and deserve more.
Agreed.
In my opinion.
Got bad reception.
Yeah, no, Vic's right, and I'll add on to that. That 10% is a classic number. 10% of the population commits about 90% of the crime, give or take, right? So just take it back to what you said. Um, Here's the thing: there's a system, so you have to navigate it. We use words like gaming it or jobbing it or doing this. Like those are colloquialisms to describe just functioning within said system. And the VA, unfortunately, is one of those systems that sometimes can be, like we've talked about before on the podcast, either great for some vets, horrible for others. Things get slipped through the cracks. Who knows, right? But there's someone with righteous issues still needs to game that system, still needs to know who to talk to, how to fill out the form top to bottom, left to right, what's important, what's not. Like
Mm-hmm.
meet these time hacks, right? And it's very much a thing where if somebody is not as literate in that, right? They talk about. I mean, it's just whether it's the legal system, the medical system. Those are two big systems that the VA melds together essentially that most people are functionally illiterate in. Like didn't go kids who went to school to be engineers don't know about that stuff, right? It's the truth. They don't. And so you need to understand this and game it. And so it's like that's also just like a crappy way of like just because some people have figured it out and then they have like the wherewithal and to go preach that, to go tell people how to address these things, get that stuff done. That's why more people do it. All those veterans who are doing that are in need, and that's that 90%. And sorry that it bums the Washington Post out that veterans have banded together as brothers and sisters and are helping each other navigate a at times ineffective, at other times corrupt, at other times incompetent system. So it also it's sometimes great. Yeah. I just want to say that too. It's sometimes
But I would say
you start talking about the local level though. Well, sorry, when you start talking about the local level, there's guys who just never did it because they didn't want to be a burden on society.
Yeah.
They came home and there's a guy missing next door. Is like, I didn't do enough. I don't deserve it. Now they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. They're going through Agent Orange. You're going through burn pit stuff. And we keep getting trying to get these guys in the system. So they see an article like this pop up. They're like, you know what? Someone deserves it more than I do. I'm going to take a step back. And then we end up having to come through as VSOs and they have to step in like, all right, convince these guys, like, go do that interview. Where's your paperwork at? And we got to start rebuilding these files after the fact. So every time one of these articles pops up, like every 5 to 10 to 15 years, it's like having a 5-year cycle. Then like we have to start going in and recreating stuff and start retooling the mindset. And they just set us back every time they do this. And it just sets us back and just pisses us off. They wonder why.
That's what the VSOs are there for, because they know the system and they can actually help everybody. And that's what everybody's upset about, is that a VSO knows what the system is and can help people get through the system. So more people are getting through because there's more VSOs. So somebody is noticing the money difference. Well, you're the ones that put it in play and said, hey, this is the requirement. Well, we're meeting that requirement.
And if they don't want to if they don't want veterans affairs, stop making veterans. Let's just call that for what it is too.
Touche.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the outcry when we had 150-year-old people still claiming Social Security benefits? I mean, we want to talk about gaming the system. Where was the outcry for that? How come the Washington Post didn't talk about that? I mean, seriously. We're gaming systems here. People that are 140, 130, 120 years old still claiming Social Security. Seriously?
Yeah, that's true.
You work big data long enough, you're going to find abnormalities. And when you start talking about hundreds of million records, I'm just saying, outliers are going to be outliers. But every time the WAPO does this and they just like take a shit on us, I'm like, can you stop it for 5 minutes and go focus on something more important than what we're trying to do out here?
And then that runs downhill.
Jess, long enough.
Everything you said, brother, is so dead on. But that rolls downhill to other things like the first responder community, who like it's so eerily similar, but then also we kind of learn from the veteran community, and it goes, and some of us obviously are both or had
We
been.
can learn from the first
And
responders for the fact that because John Stewart did the same thing for the 9/11 fund. And when
That
I got
is
a
true.
9/11, when I got a comedian stepping up for us more than most of our congressional representation, then I got a problem.
yeah,
Which
when you got to
happened.
go
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
year, ask the basic
Right.
stuff is like, can we just survive another year? Can you fund us for another year? Because the social contract is getting broken all the time.
It's cyclic too, and I agree with you. And like you said, it's when it comes and it hits, it sucks. And because progress does get made, because we're having this conversation because I've thought and felt the exact same things you just said, not from a military context, because all my PTSD is from law enforcement, but I've thought and felt things, dude. I've had the ugly cry and be ashamed, which I not anymore of like what's the word I'm looking for? The benefits or things I've utilized, right?
Entitlements.
And entitlements, benefits, things that offered that I never would have dreamed of or never would have wanted to. But also, I didn't want to be in the position I was in. So I'm loudly and proudly agreeing with you and everything everyone else has said, that this is crap. You can't say these things because it's poison, and it's poisoning someone's brain and their perception of themselves and their perception of their injuries or service related illnesses, things, just anything that is part of that, like you said, social contract, that, and this just allows them to even if they're not breaking it, just deal with it less, right? Just it's completely subversive, and that's why I think stuff like that does get put out. And I don't know, it almost seems intentional, if I'm being honest.
Every first responder, every mil vet, you just never want to be the weakest link in your platoon. You never want to be the weakest link in your squad. And it just feels like every time they do this, like they're saying that if you do this, you might be the weakest link. They put that weird guilt on you. I'm like, stop it, dude. Just
it adds to your PTSD.
It sets us back every time.
It completely compounds. It's like a magnifier. My best friend struggles so mightily with some parts of what we were involved in because that's his perception, and he's going to feel that way just because he was a vet and a ranger and other things before he got into law enforcement. And it doesn't matter how much you can do everything right or be told you did everything right, but when you feel that you're the weakest link or that you're taking advantage of something that you never, first of all, no one ever wants to, right, and no one ever thinks they'll need to, or at least they hope they don't, or they just don't ignore it and pretend they're not. But then when it happens and you do, it creates a whole nother thing. And I'll say this as a man talking to men, there's other shit you feel as being a provider, right? I jokingly say I'm a lardo on workman's comp, but like, it's because I have to say that because like part of me does actually is like, what I am providing for my family, but through what? Like disability and tithing a lawyer to keep the insurance company from fucking me. So you know what I mean? Like we have our own thoughts and demons as men and vets and first responders, and stuff like this really just, you ain't gonna get me because I'm already taking advantage of it and I've come to grips with it. But the problem is it also took time to get there, right? And therapy and coming back to God, and instead of just trying to rely on myself. Things like this and stuff like this in the media and stuff like this that gets like rolled out or rolled around, it hits the wrong person. It does exactly what you said, Jess. It sets them so far back that they're not going to get that help. And that's not the VA's fault. That's the Washington Post. That's
Washington
societal.
Post,
That's media. It's bull crap. And it's like, but what am I going to do? I can't make the WAPO
20 years
do a retraction, but they should know better and they should be ashamed. They're listening
I
to
agree.
this. Go fuck yourself.
20 years because I mean, I got out in 3.
I shouldn't have said
and
that.
I didn't go until 24. It took me 20 years because I'm like, I got buddies over in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're coming back. They've been blown up 4 times. I have friends that got hit 7 times. I mean, these are like, dude, I broke my nose and a few times and my appendix burst. I mean, just like the little things that just accumulation over the years, right? Like,
Absolutely.
well, you know what? These guys got it. There's a finite fund, and I'm taking a percentage away from it if I even go and talk to them. I'm taking time. I'm taking resources away from the guys who need it more. And that's what that stacked up. And when I went in, it was like I was guilting all my guys at the VFW and Legion posts like pack deck. We're preaching it. Like, you're an asshole because you haven't been in yet. So you got to start practicing what you preach. So I went in, filled out the form.
Oh, wow.
And it worked. But that guilt, I mean, you talk about providing that pride that we men feel you're supposed to, because that's how we're raised up.
That's how men are wired. That's part of being a man.
But every time the WAPO does stuff like this, and the Times and all these accountants at newspapers, all of a sudden, like, they latch onto a story that's like not really a big issue, and then they just make it wild. Like, stick with what you know.
Well,
Sorry,
you know, these investigative reporters that do this kind of stuff, and I'm not saying that's who these are, because I was just kind of looking them up a little bit, but it's disappointing that, you know, they're looking for low-hanging fruit where they can get picked up by a major newspaper. They're investigative reporters. They go to papers like the Washington Times. They pick a low-hanging fruit like, oh, veterans came in the system, just so they can sell an article, just so they can get their 30 seconds of fame. But like some of these people are they're like they're not, because only conservatives are conspiracy theorists, but these people consider themselves professional dot connectors, you know. And it's unfortunate that they feel like that they can get a quick buck off of people's lives, you know, because that's what they're doing. And again, I'll fully admit there are some people out there saying that they're paralyzed, and they're not. You know, people saying that, you know, they got this condition and they don't. You know, and they've got some doc to sign off on it. You know, but I don't know. It just bothers me that it's somebody has an axe to grind.
They're reporting without looking at second and third order effects again.
Yeah.
They are looking at first order effects. This is all it is. And they don't take the time to look at second order effects. Yeah. What's this going to do to the bigger veteran community? What's going to happen? Where are the ripples going to end up on this pond?
And they don't care. They're just trying to break the next biggest story, you know?
Yeah. Well, the VFW has already got a response out to the story. Yep. They're stacking up.
Good, as it should be. You know, and that's the other thing, is because if people don't push back, then, you know, the average American that reads these you know, pieces of crap articles thinks that somebody must be right, you know. It's sometimes it's emotionally draining, and it's physically draining to constantly feel like you have to push back on these things all the time, just to help one person. You know, just to help the people that really need it, you know?
You know what? You're right. Well, dang, Vic, I'm so glad you said that. It is emotionally draining. And sometimes we're people that, look at me. I've tried try and watch my mouth, Andrew. And I mean, just for more reasons than not to but for all the good reasons. But like, dude, it is part of my condition and nature. This stuff makes me want to lose my mind, because I get emotionally worn down, and then I run on rage. Well, I try not to, but what do we, gosh, I mean, just well said, right? But it's like,
there has to be a place. There has to be a place to be able to do that, right? And do it with somebody that you feel that is, you know, you feel comfortable in this environment to be able to do it, right? So, you know, I don't know.
And there are places. There's the AMVETS, there's the DAV.
Oh, and I know when you were talking about this in the Vic. So in our family, we had to move my in-laws from California to South Dakota because they're basically getting overrun by cost of living. He's a Vietnam vet, never went to the VA in a day in his life. the DAV stepped in. He's got all sorts of Agent Orange things popping off on him right now. Never did a disability in his life. So when you start looking at the second order effects on our family, now we're basically taking time off work. We got to basically go in and walk him through the VA process, and he's in his 60s, 70s. He's not young.
Yeah.
And this is it just compounds on the generations underneath him too, because these guys were prideful. The VA is where you went to die. It wasn't it didn't have the care in the community that we have now. And it was like, nope, I'm proud. I'm never going to do this. I'm taking away from somebody else. I was just in the Navy. I'm like, well, you were ashore in Vietnam, man, and you were breathing in the same chemicals as everybody else. All these things we were working on. Look at how this is affecting my family. I mean,
generationally, right? Generationally, if you think about it, because if I get 100%, think of my kids who get college for free, right?
Yep. My kids are getting time taken away because now we're sandwiched between two generations. We're trying to take care of them and our parents at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's exhausting for our generation because now we're sandwiched between care for our parents and care for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could help, the VA is helping out because we got them in the system here, and the DAV in Camarillo, California, and Oxnard is amazing. We got them kind of set up there, and then we got to Sioux Falls, and we got a really great VA hospital here. But I'm telling you, it took a lot of time, and he does not have the records because it's from Vietnam. I mean, he's not young anymore. So what was caused by it, and you stack up, but every time they run these articles, I hate to go back to that point. It just complicates everything we're trying to do.
Go back to it. I think you should say it again. If something's worth saying, say it 3 times. It's like a Chris Rock punchline. It's every time you Muppets say some dumb bullshit that you don't think about, it has ripples and it has this effect, and it undermines the good work that the DAV, the VA, people who support it, people who help veterans do. Yeah. So I'm gonna go rag on this at nursing school all week and tell children about it, right? Because all you do is hear about generational trauma, but it has nothing to do with veterans. I'm a 3rd generation vet, and my greatest of great grandfathers served in our Navy, back when it wasn't even one, back when it was just piracy off the shore of Virginia, brother. Say it. Never apologize for circling back to the most valid point of this whole thing that this article brought up, which is what this crap actually does to us and does to veterans.
It wasn't piracy, though. They had a different name for it back then, didn't they?
What did they have?
It had a letter of mark. There was a letter of mark.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I prefer Bones' comments. It's like, you fucking Muppets.
Chris on here said that his missus had to use the telegram notifying their grandma that, my FIL was medevaced to get the VA to investigate his claim. They had to use a daggum telegram just to get them to investigate something. Are you kidding me? Telegram.
It's primary source document. It's evidence-based.
It's ridiculous.
Normal. This is our day-to-day out here in the VSO land.
Yeah, you know what? Hats off to all you guys at the VSOs out there. You guys, he said that was Vietnam, by the way, but you guys are doing God's work, man. And the guy that helped me out here in Oklahoma, that dude was he's amazing. I don't know how you guys can manage the system, because I look at it and nothing makes sense to me, but you guys are doing God's work.
We got a guy up here named Gene Murphy, Vietnam vet, corpsman. I mean, he's in a wheelchair because, he's got paralysis. And tell you, those guys will go to the mat and they will lock down a congressman or a senator and basically just put him in a corner and say, get your shit together. And they're amazing. They just don't have that off switch. And that's what drives us as younger guys. Like, if Gene can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So,
but you got to have the knowledge behind it and the know-how of how to do it, right?
Yep.
That's the important part. Like, if I was to go in front of one of those guys and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing, they're going to say, why? And I'm going to go, because I don't like it. But you can get up there and you can actually say something intelligible and, you know, make them actually think about what it is that they're doing. So you have to have the right fit, right? The right person, the right type of attitude to be able to do that, the right type of mental capacity. I don't have it, but you do, Jess. I'm telling you.
Data
I'm
and
part of a
facts.
large team here.
Wait,
I got a
he's
really
saying
good
that's
team.
a fact because I said I don't have the intellect. I know what you said. I got you, Vic.
Data and facts.
Oh,
That's what-
it's not pirates, it's privateers. They finally came to me. I'm slow tonight.
Oh, okay. Privateers. There it is. It's all right.
That's a thank you, pirates.
There you go.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I love
Good
it.
stuff,
Actually,
man.
hold on.
Such good
Hey,
stuff.
you know, I do want to bring up the other. There was two
There's
other
your
articles,
book right
but I do
there.
want to bring up the one for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
Yeah, I do want to bring up the one article, and that. Hold on, let me pull it up again. I lost it. Doug Collins, right? How faith has guided Doug Collins from pastor to Air Force chaplain to VA secretary. I had no clue that he did those things. Like, I didn't know he was a chaplain, nor did I know he, you know, eventually joined the Air Force for that. I had no clue. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
Nope.
You did?
Seminary, and then he ran his own congregation for 11 years, I think the article said, and then
That's pretty wild, man. But it's good to know that somebody, you know, with faith and religion and those types of things are actually there at the head of it, right? And I think, and I feel, and Jess, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think that he's trying to move us in the right direction and try to help things move along. But
I hate to say it, but every VA secretary has been doing the same thing. It's just, how do you move the bureaucracy forward in a way that's efficient, and you're doing the best use of the taxpayers' dollars? With medicine, it's always going to be experimental and stuff that, I mean, we're looking at, you start looking at technology or therapy. We're usually a mile ahead and a mile forward of everything civilian. Our prosthetics, they're using our technology in modern prosthetics. They're using our therapies on across the board. Every time we send somebody downrange, we come back with lessons learned that have not hit the market yet. TBIs, micro tears, all these things that they're seeing outside in the civilian side, we're identifying through the VA system. But
good point.
It's always experimental, and it takes us to a spot where the bureaucracy starts to fail, and that's kind of where they're always in a bad spot. So every VA secretary, I always tip my hat to them, because they're just running a big system with so many issues, generational issues, and one thing is not going to fit everywhere, and it hurts.
Oh, absolutely.
Take it on the teeth, especially when, I mean, how do you get ready for a wave of folks coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan with all sorts of issues? I mean, PTSD, you name it. And then they get their budget played with like a plaything every time, because it costs money to send people overseas, but it costs even more on the other end. And I keep coming back to, if you don't want veterans, stop making them. Stop sending them places. Stop doing things that you probably don't. I mean, what is it? What's the end state look like?
Well, let's think about a lot of these congressmen and stuff. They're fairly young individuals, right? Young. Well, I won't say all of them, but there are some fairly young individuals, and they don't think about the consequences of the actions of, let's send this guy to combat. Let's do this. Let's do that. With the trauma, all the things that are left on the back side of it when everyone gets home, that's the time that we have to really support them. You know, don't get me wrong, you need to support them in combat as well. But man, coming home, you can't forget it. You can't just do the combat part and then nothing else.
Absolutely.
Well, how many GWOT vets are in this group right now?
All of us.
For 20 years, we fought a 1-year war, right?
Yeah.
They just kept kicking the can. They never really asked the questions. They get somebody in front of them on a hearing, and they just like, well, if I don't vote for this with authorized GWOT funding, then I'm going to lose something on my side that I'm trying to get done. So they use this as like a bargaining chip for 20 years.
Yeah. And how many deaths and how many injuries?
Yes. We need to surge 150,000 troops over Afghanistan and Iraq. Well, where are you going to source them? From the guys who just got done doing 3 tours? How many marriages? How many things got blown off?
Right.
How many extensions?
Hey, guys, I love you all. I got to punch out. So, Jess, thanks for coming in, man. I'm glad you came in
quick.
Fire, brother.
Hey, Bone, before you take off, man, do you got words of wisdom? I know we're going to jump into that in a minute, but you got some words of wisdom for everybody?
Yeah, I think to all of us here, and I think everyone out there trying to stand up for what's right and fight the good fight, pray for patience and the ability for long suffering. Do that, and you'll keep fighting the good fight, and you'll keep helping who needs help. So thank you, Jess, again. And sorry for my mouth earlier. Sometimes I get fired up. I have the PTSD.
It's all good, Bone.
I love you. I love you all. And, thank you so much for letting me on here.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Bone. Have a good one. Hey, I got to tell you guys, tonight has been pretty awesome. We've had consistent 7 and 8 viewers on the Facebook and the Xers. I'm sorry, I got to go back. The face pages and the Xers. We had a couple of viewers on the YouTubes, but the TikTokers, man, they've been coming in strong, in and out, and they've also been commenting. A lot of that is Chris. Thank you, Chris. Trent said raw, but they've been coming in and out. I've got to figure out a way to get the TikTokers on here so everybody can see their comments. It would make things a lot easier, but I have not figured that piece of the pie out. Hopefully I will soon. So with that, I just wanted to push that out and let you guys know that. You guys don't care. It's all good. I care. I care about you guys. I care. Just know that. These guys don't care. I care. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Well, hey, we are past the hour mark here. We try to cut these off at about an hour, but do you guys got anything else you want to discuss before we start wrapping it up here?
Let's see. No, I'm good.
Good. Good. Okay. Well, hey, you know what time it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Words of wisdom, baby. Here we go. Words of wisdom. Holy moly. I'm super excited. Mike, you got some words of wisdom for us?
I hope.
Well, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you know I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if it's much, but when the big things feel out of control, focus on what's right under your nose because this storm will pass.
Wow, yeah, that's good. I do enjoy that one. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Mike, bringing up strong. I like it. Jess, what do you got for us, man?
It's a lot easier to go to a wedding than a funeral and connect with family because we did that last night. So,
Agreed. Yep.
Touche. Yeah, that's good too. That's good. All right, Vic, you got to take this Sergeant Major's place tonight. So I don't know how you're going to manage this, but go ahead.
There's no filling the shoes, but I will say, based on our conversation tonight, your biggest disability is your mind, not your body.
Oh, dang, all 3 of you come up with some good ones tonight. Holy cow. Yeah, Sergeant Major couldn't even come close tonight. I got to be honest. He better be glad he's not here tonight. Yeah, I think that's the reason. He knew what you guys were going to say, and he was like, I can't even compete tonight. I'm not going to be there.
Oh, and the cigar is amazing. I love these. This year is the monster cigar is out of the park. I will say that I had to trim it once, and for a 7.5-inch cigar, it smoked kind of fast. I normally don't go through cigars as fast, so it's a little open. But it's a great cigar.
I mean, I can't believe you smoked 7.5 inches that fast, man.
Well, that's what she said. That's what she said, Vic.
It is. So. It is. Exactly. Mike, you were saying something a second ago and you were on mute. I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were saying something to us.
No, I was commenting on Vic. No.
Oh, well, we all do that. So.
Yeah. I'm good. He's sitting there, and the way his lips are wrapped around it, I don't know what to say.
Good tasting cigar. That's all I got to say.
We like cigars. We like cigars. All right, hey guys.
Vic's like smiling like a donut. So that's all I can say.
Oh God.
I prefer a smile like a Cheerio.
Smile like a Cheerio. Oh my God. We got to stop. It's getting ridiculous. All right. Hey guys, thanks. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on and just having fun. For those that joined us, the ones on the face pagers, the Xers, the YouTubes, and of course, you TikTokers, I do appreciate you guys joining us. I'm having fun. We're getting more and more participation. So please push us out to even more. And those that are on the face pages, the Xers and the YouTubes, you know, you can also comment because we will see the comments and hopefully be able to get back with you on those. But we are doing our best and we are trying to move on with it. But hey, guys, thanks again. I truly appreciate it. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on that chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. The crew cares about you. The entire veteran community cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you serve with, ask them how they're doing. And if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, fellas, thanks. Truly appreciate it. To all the listeners out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
No more 22. On to the journey and finish the fight.